Hello everyone, welcome to Study Automation. In this tutorial, we will see how to fix CORS error while working with a Spring Boot. Most of the time, you have seen this kind of error. Login, let's say if you have localhost and you are trying to run API with AngularJS or React.js or any front-end project, you might seen this one that localhost is blocked by CORS policy. So today we will see how to fix inside a Spring Boot project. So let's get started. So for that we will first create a Spring Boot project. So for that I'll write a Spring initializer, go to the first URL. From here we will choose project name and group name. So here I'll say com.course demo, and then here I can say course demo. Let's say this is our project, and then since we are going to create API, so we will add here web dependency. Let's search here web, and then we will click on generate. So let it be everything Java, jar, packaging and JDK 11, and then click download. Now after that we will go here in this folder and we can extract it. Now after that what we have to do, we have to make sure that JDK should be installed in our system. So for that I will write Java version, and it should be JDK 11, and then you should have latest Eclipse installed in your system. So currently I am using Eclipse version 2021-09. So you can download this one also, and then what we will do, we can import this project. So I'll go here, select existing Maven project. You can even search here Maven, select existing Maven project, click next, and then click browse, go to your download location, select your CORS folder, and go to inside that. After that just you have to select the folder, click finish. Wait for few seconds, and once this one will be done, then you can expand your project. You will see this structure. You can expand main Java file, and then here is the entry of Spring Boot project. Although if I can run now, just we have to right click, run as Java project. It will run. By default Tomcat is installed in our Spring Boot project, so we don't need to worry. Now what we need to do is we can create one controller, since we need to see how we can connect our API with front-end project, and if we will get CORS error, then how we will handle that. So for that I'll just create a controller. Let's say I'll say let's say user controller, or let's say login controller. Login controller, just click finish, and then here we will create one method. Let's say I'll say public and a string login, and here I have to return some method, some data. So I'll say success. Simple. This is normal method inside a class, but this is not a controller, this is not an API. So what we have to do, we can annotate it with @REST controller. So let's annotate it with REST controller, and then we have to provide here the entry point. So I can say request mapping, and inside this request mapping I'll say that this is our login controller or anything you can provide here. So I'll say login, and then here our first get method. So I'll say this is @get mapping, and inside this get mapping you can also even specify. So maybe if you will say that this is our root, right? So request mapping root, then here you can specify the particular method for this one. So I can say this is login, then maybe we will have other option also, and even this is not required at the class level or controller level. But since if we will have more than one controller, then it is always good to specify. For example, here I can say this is login, and then I'll say login controller. So if you will write 2 times login, then you will get here you have URL created login/login. Let's say that one. So right now we have just created one API, one controller, and then we can do is we will go here in course demo application, right click on it, go to run as Java application. So now application is started on port number 8080 at localhost. So if you want, you can check directly here, which will work fine. But the thing is, if you will see the same thing 8080/login/login, since we have written our main controller name as login, and then inside our method name is also login. So here if I will run now, you will see we get success. But if I will use the same API in our React.js project or any front-end project in localhost, then definitely we will get CORS error. So for that, what we need to do is we can go and create React.js project. So for that, you have to download Node.js. So for that also you can check if Node.js is installed in your system or not. It should be installed, and then you can also check npm-v. These 2 things should be installed, and if you are not getting anything, then go here and download Node.js. Node.js download, and then just you have to follow the instruction to download the exe. So from here you can download this 64-bit if you are using Windows operating system, and just follow the process. After that you can create here any project. So for that I'll go here and create one React.js project. So let me select here desktop, and then I'll say npx create React app, and then here we have to provide the project name. So I have written here course UI, npx create React app course UI, and then just click enter. It will take few minutes, and then our React.js project will be ready. We can use that project. Now you can see our React.js project is created, and to start that we can go into that course project, and then we'll do npm start, and then we will see whether our React.js project is working or not. Right, so we can see here our first React.js project is working now. Close this by pressing Ctrl+C 2-3 times, and then we'll open code dot. That means I want to open the project in Visual Studio Code, so you can download Visual Studio Code as well. Click enter. Now the same project will be opened in the editor, that is Visual Basic editor. We will expand it and then we can go into app.js. So this file is basically the entry file for the project. So now here you can write any code where you can fetch the data, where you can show the data. So I just want to show the normal thing, that is simply by fetching the data and then showing that. So for that I need to use effect, and let's say in this use effect method pass the parameter here and make it anonymous function. So this is the syntax where you can write API calling things, and then it should be imported from the React. Now after that, if I will write here, let's say console.log, and then I'll say hi, and then save this application. Now I will open this application in terminal and then npm start. Let's see once we will do, then whether it is able to print this hi or not. For that I'll open inspect element. We will go into the console. Now you can see hi is printed here. So if our page will load, then hi will print. Next thing, we need to call API. So for that I will go into the project, and then here instead of writing console log, I will write fetch. We have already fetch available, and then we can copy the URL, copy it, and we can paste it here. This is our URL. Then we'll have to write then, and I'll say res response, and we'll have to take the response as a text. So since we are returning here, if we will go in Spring, we are just returning a string data. It's not object. So if that will be object, then we will use a response.json. So right now we are using only text. So I am writing response.text, and then we can say then again, and then I'll say resp and response, and inside it we can simply perform whatever thing we wanted to perform. So for example, right now I am saying that getting text from API, and what text we are getting we can add here. So resp. Now let's save it, and then we can see whether we are getting the correct data or not. So let's go to the API, and then we can see that we have error. So we are now started getting from origin has been blocked by CORS policy, no control allowed origin. So basically we cannot call our API. So even if you can see, we are now getting the error here, and error says that CORS error. So now the thing is how to fix this, because this is the common problem that every developer face. So for that, what we will do, we'll go to our this is basically problem from the backend side, API side. So what I'll do, I will add here CORS handling related things. So one thing you can do is you can handle CORS at controller level. So here you can do is you can write cross origin, and then inside it you have to pass the origins. So in origins you can, if you are using localhost, then better you can write here localhost. Else if you want to allow all, then you have to write a string. Now this will allow, if I will save it again and then let's run it again, this project. So I have written this to allow to the all the REST method inside this controller. So if I will have another method, then that will be also allowed. So now if I will go to our project and then just refresh this project, so you can see we are not getting here CORS error, and if I will go in console, then I will get here success. This success we are returning from our controller. Now, so this is how we handle the CORS error inside Spring Boot. You have to write @cross origin, and then you have to specify origins. But sometimes if you want you to only apply to the particular method, then you can better cut this and apply this thing to particular method. Now this CORS error will fix only for this method. If you will have more than one, it will not work. Along with that, if you have something, let's say you want in your project you have many controllers, right? Login controller, registration controller, and so and you don't want to write this thing in each and every controller. In that case, what you can do, you can go to your main application, and here you have to write a code. Basically you have to override. So let me write here @ okay, let me see, WebMvcConfig, and then we have here configure method. So now okay, so here we have WebMvcConfigure, right? So we have to overwrite WebMvcConfigurer method, and then basically we have to add a return statement. Okay, so I need to annotate it with @bin, and then we can now override here one method that is called return new WebMvcConfigurer. This is anonymous function. So I'll override, and inside it what we will write, WebMvcConfigurer. Now we'll have to override public void add CorsMappings. So add CorsMappings, and basically this is a method where we need to override CorsRegistry. So we have here CorsRegistry available, and then I'll say that reg.addMapping, and inside addMapping I'll say /strict. Allow all the URLs here, and then I'll say allowedOrigins equal to also strict. So this thing you can write, and let's write here override, just to make sure that whatever thing we have done is correct. So basically if you will open this particular interface, here we have that particular method which we are just overridden, this one addCorsMapping. So the same method we are just here overriding inside Cors demo application. So this is the code that you need to write. in your main application. And after that, if I will save it, and then I'm just going to remove the course mapping from the controller so that we can just check whether it is working fine or not. So let's close it and then we will run it again. Now we will go into our application, refresh it. Okay, so we started getting this error. So it's not working, although here we need to write only reg.addMapping and then allowedOrigins, and we don't need to write any cross origin related things in the main controller. So for that, basically, yes, we have to add here /double*. In the add mapping, we have to add /double*, and then allowed origin is string. Then let's save it and we can run it again. Right, application is started. Let's go, and then here we can see that now it started getting success. So and if you will go into network tab, then our request is also success, and from here also we can go and see that we are getting success response. So this is how we can fix our course related error in our Spring Boot application. So we can either add WebMvcConfigurer in the application, main application, and then you don't need to add anywhere. Hope you get something from here. I will share this code with you. Thank you so much for watching the video.